There's a new top Druid build in the game, and it's called Stormravens. It dominates T4 content, it obliterates hordes, one-taps Belial, and it speed farms pit 110s while dealing trillions upon trillions of damage. All that's while still missing a shit ton of gear and damage. A big massive shout out to my man Zaya for creating the build. If you need top Druid builds every season, then you 100% need to subscribe to his channel to stay up to date. Now, while Pulverize may be able to push slightly higher in the pit, thing is though, it's slow as shit compared to this. So if you want something that can push high, deal a gazillion damage, is great at farming hordes, and is faster than a coked-up squirrel, then this is your build right here. So, enough with the fucking yapping. How does it actually work, and what do you need to get it online? Well, first things first, ravens have a cooldown. So that's the first thing we need to solve, or else the skill is absolute trash. Fortunate for us, though, there's a new Chaos Power perk. I mean, that removes it by transforming our companion skills into core skills. Not only that, but it also grants you a buttload of damage and, of course, allows you to stack core skill ranks for a huge damage multiplier. Once you've obtained this power, though, which you get from blowing up Bartuk, then you're almost online. The next step is solving your resources, because now your ravens cost spirit, being core skills and all. We're solving this with ease, though, both by the spirit boons and via the Mjolnir ring, as long as we have Cataclysm up. And seeing as there's another spirit boon that reduces ultimate cooldowns, that's not really an issue either. And with that, you're basically done. All we now need to do is scale a buttload of damage, and we're off to farm some pit 100s. One of the main ways of doing this is via the Gathlin's Birthright. This is one fantastic piece of armor. Slapping this on and staying in human form while dealing damage, we get both the Perfect Storm and Earthen Might key passives, which in turn also allows us to grab a third key passive for even more damage. For the Perfect Storm and Earthen Might passives to actually work, though, there's but one problem. Raven is not a Storm nor Earth skill. So now we're back to where we started, the build is cooked, and we may as well install PoE again. Or maybe not. Because using Stormcrow's aspect, we're not only getting a shit ton of damage for our ravens, but we're also transforming it into a lightning skill. And now, my friends, we have everything we need to play the build. There's but left to scale its damage, which we'll check out now, because there are some additional banger gear and aspects that make this build truly magnificent. Here you have a few different build versions. We'll focus on the Kata Stormravens version, which is basically what you're aiming for in the end game. You also have the farm variant, with additional AoE and pulling enemies in, along with the no mythics and no chaos version for the dogshit newbies. Starting with the helmet again, not only are we getting the bonuses we spoke about before, but we're also getting some fantastic stats here, a buttload of willpower and humanity, which is 5% damage per rank. When it comes to the chest, you want Shroud of False Death for pit pushing and dealing big dam. The no mythic, no chaos armor version is rocking aspect of might for defense, and for farming, Air Eater's will is truly unbeatable, pulling everything towards you, which is great for farming hordes. Next, we have the overcharged aspect, granting us a bunch of lightning damage and an additional way of triggering vulnerable. Other than that, we're aiming to stack up as many core skill ranks as possible, and for some goddamn reason, we can also grab Raven's attack speed tempers in combination with crit damage. Not sure why, but if it works, it works. You can also replace this with Raven size if you're just farming hordes and doing easy content for more coverage. For the Pantaloonies, Fists of Fate is just godly for the massive damage and lucky hits. And if you don't have it, you just grab Yen's Blessing or any other boots, along with slapping on Kilt of Blackwing as Pantaloonies instead, because here we're using Kilt of Blackwing as sneakers for the extra damage, And this, my friends, is yet another reason as to why ravens are beyond broken this season. The aspect granting 120% increased damage, along with gaining extra summoned ravens, more ranks, and overall just a bunch of damage. For the weapon, we find Stormcrow's aspect. Without this, we'd be dealing a whole lot less damage because this is what transforms our ravens into storm ravens. On top of that, the aspect and its damage multipliers are just disgusting. Other than that, though, you're looking to cap out your ravens, deal double damage now. One roll and masterwork here, along with one on the offhand and some from the kilt of Blackwing, should be enough to cap it. For the offhand, you then want Aspect of Stampede, granting both extra companions and companion damage. And having extra companions will go directly into your shepherd's aspect, granting you more damage the more companions you have. In this build, you'll have ravens, wolves, and we're also going for the Nagu and Shehrun combo for even more companions. All in all, it more than doubles our damage. And for the amulet, you now want to start stacking Cataclysm cooldown reduction everywhere. On top of that, willpower and envenom are great ranks to have, but the best by far is Call of the Wild. And what the hell does this do? It grants us 12% extra companion damage per rank. Fucking nasty. Then, our Mjolnir ring for unlimited spirit, along with Mighty Storm's aspect to allow ourselves the usage of the Earthen Might key passive, because without this, only Earth skills would be able to trigger it. But using this, our newly transformed Storm Ravens will be able to as well. Pretty great. And speaking of great, good job, friends. You've stuck around thus far, and for this, you deserve some kind of rewards. How about checking out the runes and powers? That should do, I think. Starting us off, we're going for Ahu and Cox for Giga damage when enemies are under 80% life. And for the other combo, we have Nagu and Ke, as we talked about earlier, synergizes nicely with Shepherd's aspect. For the powers, we have Savagery, which is a must to play the build, along with Overabundance for Giga damage, Purge the Infected for crit damage, and Wild Transformations for, hell, even more damage. I like it. To use this one, simply shapeshift between the different forms with Bloodhowl and Maul every now and then, and you're getting all of the buffs, along with shapeshifting bonuses in the skill tree. And when it comes to the gems, just grab whatever the fuck you want or need. Hey, will you look at that? It's skill tree o'clock, and you know it, baby. Starting us off, grab Maul for Bear skill along with some lovely passives for Big Dam. Next, grab Bulwark for defense and Unstoppable, along with Bloodhowl for its damage buffs and a bunch of damage and damage reduction passives. In the companion tree, we grab all the damage bonuses we can find, where Call of the Wild is just bonkers, and you'll want this on your amulet if possible. Other than that, grab Wolves for additional companions along with Ravens for, well, it's your damage skill. Next, we go to grab Electric Shock for additional lightning damage along with Envenom, which is your second best option for amulet passive, granting a whopping 10% crit damage per rank. In the ultimate tree, we find our Cataclysm, ensuring that we get infinite spirit, additional damage, and vulnerable, assuming we actually keep it up. Here we also find a bunch of lovely damage passives and our main heal. Finally, the key passive. One with Nature grants you an 80% damage increase along with additional companions. On top of that, we're getting Nature's Fury from our helmet, allowing us to gain additional damage, and the same goes for Earthen Might. Alright, skill tree complete. Let's head off to the Paragons and see what's going on there. Well, shit. A lot apparently. Don't you worry though, my brain-deficient viewer will take it step by step. And we're starting with Human for additional damage in human form, which we spend all of our time in as we're casting Ravens. We're then going for the Untamed Legendary Node, which we will have no problem keeping at 80%. We're also grabbing Max Life here, along with everywhere else, as to not fucking dial Mao, and follow that up by slotting in Wilds. which is one hell of a glyph when it comes to additive damage, but it also has some additional lovely damage bonuses that we'll gladly take. With this massive 54% damage bonus per point though, you definitely want to get as many ranks and nodes here as possible. After that, we go for the Sinister Tendrils node, allowing us to gain a strong 35% damage bonus versus poisoned enemies. And its second bonus makes sure that everything is poisoned for us. After that, we slot in Earth and Sky for a huge chunk of damage while boosting nearby magic damage nodes for some additional damage. It's then time to chuck a Yui, fuck off to Narnia, and grab ourselves the heightened Malice damage bonus along with the Spirit Glyph for some much-needed damage. Because we're doing so little of it right now, right? Either way, finish it all off with Thunderstruck for 60% damage as long as you have a dagger equipped for extra close damage and a leveled up glyph with the damage to close here and some extra nodes to finish it off. You'll need a total of 300% damage to close to cap it, so if you don't have it capped, then just grab a damage to close temper somewhere. And now, my friends, it's time to get good, and time for me to teach you bunch of dummies how to play this magnificent build. The playstyle is easy peasy. To activate all of your buffs, all you need to do is press all of your skills once, because you want to press your Bloodhowl and Companion skills, and you've got most of them sorted. All you then need to do is press Maul every now and then to get your final Chaos Power bonus, and you're set. Now, all you need to do is put a helmet on and start bashing your head as hard as possible on the keyboard, and the build will play itself. Press all buttons except Maul, which you only need to press when you need defense, and start blasting. Easy, huh? Damn right. Now drop me a sub, check out Zaya for his insane Druid builds, and I'll see you in the next one.